Okay, so now let's try another example for regular falsi method. We have example number 2. Find the root between 2 and 3 of x cubed minus 2x minus 5 with x sub 0 equal to 2 and x sub 1 be equal to 3. So, sulat natin dito si n. Okay, so first column natin will be n. Second column is x sub n minus 1. Third, x sub n. F of x sub n minus 1. F of x sub n. And this will be x sub n plus 1. Okay, so yung at n equal to 1 tayo, x sub 0 natin will be 2. X sub 1 natin will be 3. So, what is our f of x sub n minus 1? So, substitute natin si 2 dito sa equation, we will get negative 1. For f of x sub n naman tayo, substitute natin si 3 dito sa equation, that will be 16. And solving for x sub n plus 1, so that will be x sub 2 is equal to x sub 0 times f of x sub 1 minus x sub 1 times f of x sub 0 all over f of x sub 1 minus f of x sub 0. So, x sub 2 will be 2.0588. Now, let's have x sub 2. Of course, our x sub n minus 1 will be 3. Tapos, x sub n natin will be this one, 2.0588. X sub n minus 1 natin is 16. And computing for f of x sub n, plug natin si 2.0588 dito sa equation, you will get negative 0.3911. And solving for x sub 3, that is equal to x sub 1 times the function f of x sub 2, okay, minus x sub 2, f of x sub 1, all over f of x sub 2 minus f of x sub 1. So, if you plug these values dito sa formula natin, you will get x sub 3 be equal to 2.0813. Okay? Now, for n is equal to 3 naman, that our x sub n minus 1 is equal to 2.0588. X sub n natin will be 2.0813. F of x sub n minus 1 will be negative 0.3911. And computing for f of x sub n, plug natin si 2.0813 sa equation, that will be equal to negative 0.1468. And computing for x sub 4, that is equal to x sub 2, f of x sub 3, minus x sub 3, f of x sub 2, all over f of x sub 3 minus f of x sub 2. So, ito yung magiging formula natin. And plugging these values dito sa formula, what will be our x sub 4? That is 2.0948. Okay? So, for n is equal to 4, our x sub n minus 1 is 2.0813. X sub n natin is 2.0948. F of x sub n minus 1 is negative 0.1468. And computing for f of x sub n, plug natin si 2.0948 sa equation, and you will get 0.0028. And computing for x sub 5, this is equal to x sub 3, f of x sub 4, minus x sub 4, f of x sub 3, all over f of x sub 4 minus f of x sub 3. So, plugging these values sa formula natin, you will get x sub 5 be equal to 2.0945. Okay, so let's continue at n equal to 5. Sulat na lang natin dito. So if n is equal to 5, then x sub n minus 1 natin is negative 0.14. Hindi. That is 2.0948. Our x sub n will be 2.0945. F of x sub n minus 1 is 0.0028. F of x sub n will be, plug natin si 2.0945 dito sa ating equation, and we will get, negative 0.006. And for our formula, x sub 6 is equal to x sub 4 f of x sub 5 minus x sub 5 f of x sub 4 over f of x sub 5 minus f of x sub 4. So if we plug these values dito sa formula natin, we will get x sub 6 be equal to 2.0946. Now, let's try to get the root of our equation using shift solve. Okay, so pag nag-shift solve ka, input mo si x cubed minus 2x minus 5, and then shift solve mo siya, you will get a value of x be equal to 2.09455 and so on. So yung fifth iteration natin matches our root, so we should stop there. Okay? So that is the regular falsi method, and that is example number 2. Okay, so we stop there kasi kahit anong value ng x yung ilagay mo in shift solve, you will still arrive with the same answer like this. So those were the roots between 2 and 3 of the equation x cubed minus 2x minus 5. So that ends my discussion in method of false position.